Many sellers entered the 2026 Prime Day expecting a massive surge in revenue. Instead, the final data shows that growth plateaued, staying nearly identical to the previous year. Industry analysts have pointed to external distractions like global sporting events and the World Cup to explain why shoppers spent less time on the platform. But the focus on external events ignores a shift in Amazon's internal systems. The platform moved away from manual, spreadsheet-based management toward a new architecture for live store updates. This shift means that the flat revenue isn't just a sign of consumer fatigue, it's the result of new operational rules that prioritize agility over pre-planned promotions. Preparing for a Prime Day sale used to be a rigid administrative task. Sellers finalized their strategies weeks in advance, with no way to pivot once the clock started. The old process required sellers to list every promotional item on an offline spreadsheet and submit it for manual review. This system enforced a mandatory 1% point attachment on all sale items, which effectively capped a brand's profit margins before a single customer clicked buy. Once the sale lodged, Amazon's system fixed those prices for the duration of the event. There was no mechanism to adjust for low stock or aggressive competitor moves. Success was a gamble based on pre-sale predictions. If the market shifted during the sale window, sellers had no tools to respond. In 2026, Amazon retired those manual spreadsheets. The platform replaced them with an automated bulk application system integrated directly into the seller portal. With this automation came a significant policy change. The 1% point attachment rule was removed, giving sellers the ability to manage their own margins. This timeline comparison shows the most impactful change. For the first time, sellers were allowed to adjust prices while the sale was active. Sellers now treat the event as a live auction, reacting in real time rather than waiting for next-day reports. Brands that stuck to their original pre-planned prices were quickly undercut by more agile competitors who used these live adjustments to stay at the top of the search results. This shift to automation requires sellers to make pricing decisions in minutes to keep pace with the market. Removing those technical barriers shifted buyer behavior. Shoppers moved their spending to the early access window, making it the most competitive part of the sale. The data reflects this shift perfectly. Early access sales grew 10 to 15%, while main event volume dropped up to 10%. Savvy operators front-loaded their inventory to hit this initial peak, leaving latecomers fighting over a shrinking shopper pool. This surge in automated updates had a side effect. It pushed more promotional content through Amazon's review system than the platform could handle. Usually, Amazon blocks aggressive promotional language. But with the filters under stress, storefronts that used bold, high-contrast discount claims were able to bypass the usual review delays. The backlog in the review system effectively gave an advantage to sellers who pushed the limits of their storefront designs while the filters were overwhelmed. Amazon's store strategy now relies on constant mid-event monitoring and adjustment. Because of this new agility and unpredictable external factors, total revenue growth is no longer a reliable way to measure a brand's success. The new benchmark is market share. The total market may shrink, but a successful brand expands its slice of the pie. Even with flat category sales, using live pricing to capture a higher percentage of volume constitutes a win. Winning now requires mastering these live mechanics to capture category volume. This is the new standard for surviving the Prime Day calendar.